Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and hello if you're new. Can you believe we're already in the last 10 days of Ramadan? This year has just flown by so quickly, but let's make the most of it inshallah. In today's video, I'm excited to take you along with me to experience my suhoor to dinner routine during the sacred month. You'll get a sneak peek into what's cooking for dinner, what I cooked for iftar, a glimpse of my daily routine. Plus, I went shopping for Eid dresses, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Let's dive right in. At 3:30 a.m., I entered the kitchen to prepare suhoor. Today, I decided to make my favorite avocado egg toast with a slight twist. This time what I did different was I sliced the bread and removed a piece from the center to create a cavity. I had some leftover chili oil that I made the other day. I'm using it here. In a pan, I drizzled the chili oil. I then placed the outer portion of the bread in the pan and I carefully cracked an egg white into this cavity. You can even make omelette and add in the middle. That would be good too, or add any veggies like capsicum or whatever you like, cheese. I just kept it plain and I cracked in some black pepper, added salt and placed the cut piece of the bread back on top and cooked one side on low flame and toasted the bread on the other side with a little bit of ghee. Meanwhile, I sliced ripe avocado and layered it on top. Instead of my usual mashed potato, I kept it simple this time with avocado slices and a sprinkle of salt, pepper and lemon juice. Usually what I do is I mash the avocado and then add pickled jalapeno, onions, black pepper, chili flakes, all that, and then I spread it on top. That would taste even better. Paired it with black tea. It was a satisfying meal before Fajr prayer. Then I did my Fajr prayer, recited Quran and went off to sleep. I was lucky that day because the kids didn't have school because they had parents-teachers meeting. So school was off, so I could sleep till 9 o'clock. Otherwise, when they have school, after sleeping now, I wake up again at 7 o'clock and I have to prepare Aisha's lunchbox, send them to school, and mostly I don't sleep after that. But sometimes I do try to sleep until 9 o'clock if I'm really tired. As we enter the sacred last 10 nights of Ramadan, I know we are all feeling the fatigue from spending more time in worship, but alhamdulillah that we are able to do that. Inshallah, when you're making dua, please do remember me and my family in your prayers, and I will definitely pray for you guys too. May Allah accept all of our duas in Laylatul Qadr. May He forgive us and may He shower His mercy down upon all of us. Ameen. After a refreshing sleep, I woke up at 9 o'clock feeling energized and I'm excited to share a new addition to my home with you all. It's this beautiful terrarium, a thoughtful gift from a very dear friend, cum sister of mine. I'm incredibly grateful for her gesture and I absolutely adore this new piece in my space. You know how much I love plants, and seeing this miniature ecosystem thriving inside a bowl brings me so much joy. So from the bottom of my heart, if you're watching this, thank you so much for this meaningful and lovely gift. Around 9:30 a.m., I headed to the kitchen to prepare dinner for today and tomorrow. On the menu, I decided to make some fresh red curry paired with puttu and chicken white curry or chicken stew served with vallapam. Cooking both dishes side by side makes the process much easier and more efficient. To make both the curries, I started with sauteing onions first. For the fish curry, I prefer adding chopped ginger and garlic instead of the ginger garlic paste for a silkier gravy. But for the chicken curry, I added ginger garlic paste. Then I added tomatoes cut in big chunks in both the curries and sauteed it until the tomatoes were soft. In the chicken stew, I added green chilies, obviously because it will be a white curry, and I let all the onions become soft. But in the red curry, I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoon of red chili powder, and sometimes I do add a teaspoon of coriander powder as well. This day I didn't add it. Then for the sourness, I'm adding raw green mango. Then I added the fish. This is sea bream, and I poured little water, mixed it, and covered and cooked it for about 10 to 15 minutes. I added potatoes and chicken into the cooker and mixed everything together. Checked the salt and added it because it was less, and I covered the cooker without adding water and I cooked it for until the cooker released 2 whistles. The fish curry is ready, and don't be like me, I was too lazy to take another cloth to hold the pot. I was just using my sleeve to swirl the pan. Next, I got on to making puttu. I even make this a day ahead and I steam it when I need it. Since I'll be using it tomorrow itself, I will keep it in the fridge. So this is Ajmi puttu podi, our new favorite puttu podi. It gives us the best puttu ever. So I store puttu in the aluminium foil so that it will hold its shape. So tomorrow when I need it, I'll take it off and put it in the steamer and steam it, and it will be as fresh as new. The chicken curry is cooked, and to add the coconut milk, I am making a mixture with cashew and coconut milk powder. By adding cashew to the coconut milk, it will give a nice thick, semi-thick consistency to the chicken stew, and it will give a nice flavor. By this time, the kids were awake, so I had to give Aisha and Omar their breakfast. So I just took out puttu, fresh from the puttu kutti, and I added sugar and ghee and mixed it and gave it to the kids. And the kids really like it a lot. Final job that I had for the day in the kitchen was making the batter for vallapam or palapam. So for this, I add 1:1:1 ratio of raw rice cooked rice and coconut. So I will be making this for dinner. So I didn't add yeast in the morning. So I just covered it and kept it aside. So like that, my kitchen work was done. I cleaned the kitchen and got out finally. For iftar, my plan was to use up few things that I had in the freezer. With the kitchen chores completed, my next task for the day was to tidy up and put away the folded clothes in their designated places. As it was time for Dhuhr, I paused my work and I prayed Dhuhr with Hamad, and after that I took a small break to recite Quran. Then I gave Aisha and Omar a bath, and then it was their lunchtime. Luckily I had some leftover rice in the fridge, so I simply reheated it and served it with fish curry for the kids' lunch.
A little bit.
Is it?
No.
Okay, then I'll just remove. After finding some free time, I decided to repurpose my trolley, which I previously used for my painting and art supplies. So I thought of using it specifically for my Quran, dua books and other essentials needed for Laylatul Qadr nights. I had scattered these items in various drawers, making it difficult to access everything when needed. So I dedicated this trolley to keep all these items in one easily accessible place. I tend to get quite hungry in the middle of the night, so I made sure to have some snacks readily available. This is one of the Girgan goodie bag that the kids received. I had hid it from them because they had already eaten a lot of candies. So I thought I'll use these snacks for myself. So I kept that in the trolley as well. For easy access, I placed my collection of duas in a mini basket with this cute handle. I've compiled these duas into a Google Drive link, which I'll include in the video description. There you'll find a treasure trove of beautiful duas for children, general supplications and many more. So just feel free to click on the link and get all the resources available. Inshallah, I hope it will be useful for you guys. After realizing that I had forgotten to shop for my Eid clothes, I decided to head to Gate Mall to look for options. While there, I came across many shops which showed beautiful cord sets in variety of colors, exactly the style I wanted. However, I found the prices to be quite expensive. It had separate pricing for the top and the pant, making it very expensive, and I don't like spending too much on clothes. So I ultimately left empty-handed. Moving on, I stumbled upon Lefties, where I found some appealing linen items that seemed perfect for the summer season, especially for the kids. Excitedly, I picked up a few pieces, but unfortunately, upon trying them on, the kids weren't too keen on them. This meant I would have to make a return trip to the store. Then I just got into Flying Tiger, a shop I enjoy. I remembered receiving inquiries from some of you about where I got my wooden handled cutleries from. I had purchased it from this very store, which also offers a variety of other unique supplies. I then ended up picking up some modeling clay for the kids, which I'm sure will be a hit with them. Despite finding a few things for the kids, which I have to return, I left the mall without getting anything for myself. I reached home and it was almost time for iftar. My husband picked up some snacks from the restaurant, so I'm using the air fryer to heat them up. Additionally, I had some homemade dumplings stored in the freezer, which I quickly steamed. I absolutely love dumplings, especially when they are homemade. I recently made a batch and they turned out incredibly delicious. Even Hamad enjoys them, so I decided to treat him to something homemade for iftar, because Hamad has a preference for homemade food during iftar. So I steamed the dumplings and then I fried them in a bit of oil with a splash of water to achieve the perfect balance of crispiness and moisture. This is a tip my sister told me and it really works well. I had some chili oil on hand, which I drizzled onto the serving plate, and I placed the dumplings on top. And then I added a few more drops of the chili oil on top for extra flavor. I prepared the dumpling dough entirely from scratch, and I'm delighted with how soft and tender the dumplings turned out, as you can see in the video. After iftar, I had tea and it was immediately time for Isha and Taraweeh prayer. I completed that and it was dinner time. Unfortunately, I realized I had forgotten to add the instant yeast to the batter earlier. Despite being late, I decided to add it anyway and place the batter in my air fryer in the ferment option. Although it did rise slightly, it didn't achieve the desired bubbly foamy texture, indicating that the yeast didn't work well as expected. Nevertheless, I proceeded to make the vallapam, and while it turned out okay, it didn't meet the usual perfection that is achieved with this recipe. Typically, with the same quantity of ingredients, the vallapam turns out perfect, as you can see from the picture on my blog, which I'll insert in the side, where I received great reviews. Even then, we all enjoyed it with chicken stew for dinner, marking the end of the day. That's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, comment on the video and share it with your family and friends. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.